Welcome to Tax to Confused. It's my September investments update. So first of all, let's have a look at my stocks and shares ISA. In September, if you've watched my budget video, you have seen that I've put a total of £535 into my stocks and shares ISA, and I've split that between my two investments. One is the Vanguard All World. I've put £435 in there, and the balance of £100 going into my data center pie. You can see at the bottom there the return for each of them. So the All World Index Fund at 8.55% is outperforming the data center pie by which is currently at 7.99%. But overall, current rate of return is 10.6%, which is £418.62. So going well. I've mentioned I think it's my August video, I'm going to start increasing my contributions into my ISA. I'd love to max it out for this year, but that's going to be quite a struggle. But we'll see how we go. That's my ambition, to put the full £20,000 in there for this year. And now into my Aviva pension scheme through my employer. So this month there was a contribution of £944.17. That's my contribution and my employer's contribution going in. So it takes my current total pot up to £65,675.18. Again, I said last month, it's really hard to sort of quantify the rate of return. Comparing to last month, it was just under 65,000. So I think it's gone up around 7-8%, but that's just come from the increase, the contribution increase. The actual return is much harder to calculate through this app. If anyone's got any ideas, I'd love to hear how you're tracking your pension and seeing that rate of return. I'm sure there'll be an annual statement that comes through just to show the growth in the fund. But maybe I should have something else that looks at it a bit more often, but maybe not. It's a long-term investment after all. Now let's pop over to the compound interest calculator to have a look at what my total investments would be worth if I were to start drawing the money when I was 57, so in 16 years' time. So the total investments in both my ISA and my pension are £71,013.80. The interest rate, I'm going to do the same as I did last month and put that in as 9%, which is, it's optimistic over the long term, but let's just see what happens. The years are 16, and I'm going to put the deposit amount of monthly of my 941 into my pension and £500 into my ISA, which is less than what I said in the video a few minutes ago. But let's be conservative around this and say 1441. So let's calculate that, and it comes to £912,000, which is just shy of £1 million. And the £1 million mark is where I'd love to be when I can start drawing either my ISA or my pension or both. And the reason why that £1 million is sort of in my head is because if you have your annual expenses of £40,000, if you times that by 25, you get to £1 million, and a safe withdrawal rate of 4% per year. I could withdraw 4% from £1 million invested to get me £40,000 a year to live on. Some of that would be taxable, some wouldn't. The stuff in the ISA wouldn't be taxable, but those investments in my pension would when I start to draw them down. And I'm going to do these at different times. So you'll see my fire plan video that I'm going to send out in a few weeks, which talks about how I'm going to have an ISA bridge. So from the age of 50 to 57, I'll be withdrawing money from my ISA, and then that supports me through my financial independence goal through to the age of 57 when I can access my pension. And that's a normal route a lot of people take. But I'll show you those numbers in a few weeks. So I'd love to hear your feedback. What do you think I'm doing that works well? What would you change? I'd be interested to know what you think about the deposit amount. If I were to max out my ISA to £20,000 a year, which is £1,600 a month, plus the £900 for my pension, this would look more like £2,500 a month, which is 1.3 million. So I'll be well on track to getting to that £1 million. I hope this was useful. I'd love to hear your feedback.